Whoa! What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do every weekday. Excuse me, over the airwaves of ESPN Radio and ESPN News, 250 plus markets across the United States of America. Check your AM, FM listing nearest you, plus ESPN Radio on Sirius XM Channel 80, plus ESPN Radio simulcast over the live national television airwaves of ESPN News. Number to call up as always is 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. The Stephen A. Smith Show is being brought to you by Credit Karma. Get your truly free credit scores and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma today. That's Credit Karma, K-A-R-M-A. Get knowing. Time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, best phones, best networks, no contracts. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem. We have a problem. There's a problem in New York, and there's a problem in L.A. Ladies and gentlemen, we have problems. There is no way around this. There is no way to sugarcoat this. Based on two things that have transpired in the last 24 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem. We have a problem. It's a big one. First is the problem in New York City. Ladies and gentlemen, I got something to tell y'all. Something very, very important to tell y'all. I watched the Brooklyn Nets last night. Losers of 3 straight, supposedly fading. 7th seed in the Eastern Conference. 500 record at 36-36. Going to Sacramento and were getting blown out of the state. It wasn't to the Golden State Warriors. It wasn't to Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson. It wasn't to the reigning defending 2-time NBA champions. No, it was at the hands of a Sacramento squad that ain't been relevant for quite some time. And all of a sudden, after being down 28, after being down 25 to start the fourth quarter, after getting outscored 37-20 in the third quarter, the Brooklyn Nets came back and beat Sacramento. And why did they beat Sacramento? Courtesy of this all-star in L.A. He's viewed as a villain. Why? Because he's seen as the guy that mistakenly or foolishly and stupidly or childishly ended up diving out Swaggy P. That was his reputation in L.A. His reputation in Brooklyn, I'm talking about D'Angelo Russell, is that this brother is a star. He's an all-star. And this brother showed up on the court last night in that fourth quarter and went absolutely positively berserk. I mean, D'Angelo Russell, 27 points in the fourth quarter, driving to the hole, showing a motor that we hadn't seen from him, pulling up for threes all over the place. I mean, about the only thing that was as good as D'Angelo Russell last night was my little brother, Ryan Ruocco, calling the game. My God, he was sensational. I mean, you talk about bringing excitement to a broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you something right now. You got the great Mike Breen. Bang! You know him. He's phenomenal. You got the great legendary Marv Albert. Somebody I also consider to be a legend. He works for Fox. His name is Gus Johnson. That's my brother right there. Somewhere out there you listening to me, Gus. You know I love you, bro. Sensational broadcaster. Ladies and gentlemen, this kid, Ryan Ruocco, this young kid, my little brother from another mother, this young kid is special. I mean, you listen to him call a game. That's all I'm going to say. I'm digressing from the subject at hand, but I'm just so proud of him. I'm just so proud because I'm over 50 now. So you know what? I'm like a father figure to people now. I'm over 50. That's how it goes. I'm just so proud of him because he's so great at it now. He's phenomenal. That's about the only thing that was as good as D'Angelo Russell last night. I know Dudley hit the three from the key. That was nice. I know Hollis Jefferson drove into the lane and threw up that lefty overhead over Marvin Bagley, who, by the way, can ball. God help anybody if he gets ambidextrous. He learns how to use his right even better. Look out for Marvin Bagley. He's justifying why he was the number 2 overall pick. And we all know how I have raved about the Sacramento Kings and what Vlade Divac has done and what Yeager has done as the coach and what Buddy Hield with De'Aaron Fox, who I thought the Lakers should have drafted instead of Lonzo, and the pickup of Harrison Barnes. And this guy Gills III, who's so physical. And Willie Cauley-Stein, who's athletic and a greyhound, a thoroughbred. I like what I'm seeing in Sacramento. But Brooklyn? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Let me tell y'all something. Biggie would be proud. Jay-Z got to be proud. I'm trying to tell y'all something right now. The Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets. Somebody needs to start paying attention. And if you are a New York Knicks fan, ladies and gentlemen, I just got to say it. It's just not good right now. It's just not good right now. If you are the New York Knicks, here's what has happened. Because of how the Brooklyn Nets are looking, devoid of a superstar, but exceptionally well run by Sean Marks and a pretty damn good coach in Atkinson. With this roster of players who are clearly together, you don't see too many benches going off the way those brothers were going off last night. The support that they have for each other, they are family. I'm trying to tell y'all something right now, man. Brooklyn Nets. I can't. Look, I'm a native New Yorker, born in the Bronx, raised in Hollis, Queens. There was no Brooklyn Nets years ago. I'm all about the New York Knicks, but I got to tell the truth. I got to tell the truth. The Brooklyn Nets are one of the great NBA stories throughout this NBA season, and it's getting even better and better, unfolding before our very eyes. They're going to have enough space for a max player, possibly two. They already got a crew of young dudes who can play. LeVert can play. Hollis Jefferson can play. D'Angelo Russell can play. Allen can play. I mean, these brothers ain't no joke. You ain't even bring up Dinwiddie, who got the contract extension and well-deserved. These brothers can play. I'm trying to think of something to complain about. And the only thing that I could come up with is traffic on Atlantic Avenue. I want no parts of it. That's about it. And oh, by the way, I'm Stephen A. So guess what? I ain't trying to take the subway. I don't feel like getting mauled with a bunch of questions. But I ain't the typical fan that's got 9 different subway lines going to the Barclays Center. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a problem for the New York Knicks. Because if you're the New York Knicks, all you got right now is the $73+ million available in cap space and the potential to have the number 1 overall pick in the draft because you got the worst record in basketball. The Brooklyn Nets, devoid of any stars, are 23 games better than the New York Knicks in the win column. The Knicks got 14 wins. Brooklyn's got 37. And ain't a single damn star on their team. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. The Brooklyn Nets are coming. And I got news for you. They're not just coming come playoff time. They're coming towards free agency. If you are a Kawhi Leonard, if you are a Kevin Durant, if you are any of these mega stars, why would you pick the Knicks over the Nets? Especially when James Dolan finds himself in the news for one idiotic reason after another. Getting in Steve Mills and Scott Perry's way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not good. I'm a Knicks fan. Ain't gonna never change. Ain't gonna ever change. I know I'm grammatically incorrect, but damn it, I'm excited. It's not gonna ever change. I'm gonna always be a Knicks fan. But I tell you this much, I ain't gonna be a net hater. I'm not gonna be a net hater. I might hate that traffic on Atlantic Avenue. That's about it. There's a better brand of basketball in the boroughs. It ain't in Manhattan, Midtown. Oh, it's in Brooklyn. And it's the Brooklyn Nets. Plans for the beginning of the day, they play Toronto in the first round. With nothing to lose. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but it's time to start paying attention. Now, I said it months ago. But I watched D'Angelo Russell put on that show last night. And I watched Dudley come and hit that key three. And I watched Hollis Jefferson close the deal with his layup with 0.8 seconds left in the game. And as great of a broadcaster as Ryan Ruocco is, a young, great broadcaster, play-by-play guy, he wasn't faking his excitement. What a comeback. What a comeback. I couldn't believe it. They were down 25. I contemplated going downstairs last night at my house and cheating and stealing a bowl of Crunch Berries. I've laid off the Crunch Berries, but I was going to cheat last night. But then I disciplined myself and said, damn it, I need to go to bed. And this sugar high I get is going to keep me up. I don't want to do that. So I went back up and flicked the damn channel. And it was 25 down. And then suddenly it was like 8. I said, what the hell is going on? What's going on? Item today was the Brooklyn Nets. But it wasn't just because they're good, with the potential to be great if they acquire a marquee free agent in this summer. It was because of what it does to the Knicks. If my man Jalen Rose is right, it won't matter, because even though cats talk about wanting to win, and clearly Brooklyn's a better situation than the Knicks in that category right now, when you have these stars, they usually go to the bigger brand. And the Knicks are clearly a bigger brand. But right now, let's be clear, that's all they got going for them. Especially with James Dolan. With his foolishness being in the media for such pettiness. Like trying to throw fans out of the garden. Grow up. I don't get into all the complaints about James Dolan like other people do. But in this regard, grow up. And stop getting in the way of your subordinates. Help them to do their job by staying the hell out of the way. Grow some thick skin or do us a favor and don't show up. Let somebody else sit in your seat. Go play the guitar somewhere. New York Knicks in trouble. They in trouble. Because now they need the #1 overall pick, because you're going to have a lot of cats excited. If the New York Knicks get the #1 overall pick, it's going to be Zion Williamson out of Duke. And you're going to have a lot of cats excited about coming to play with him. So that would help you. But if you don't get the #1 overall pick, who's there to be excited about playing with? R.J. Barrett's got skills, but he ain't wowing you to play with him. Not like Zion is. And I'm afraid if the New York Knicks don't capture the #1 overall pick in the draft lottery, then I think people are going to choose Brooklyn over them in free agency. That's my thinking. But the New York Knicks ain't the only ones with a problem. The other team with a problem is the Los Angeles Lakers. Because news came down that Doc Rivers reached an extension with the Los Angeles Clippers. And I got great news for you. At the top of hour number 2, I'm going to have someone that is undisputably one of the top 2 executives in the history of basketball, who also happens to be the consultant to billionaire owner Steve Ballmer of the Clippers. His name is the great Jerry West, the silhouette himself. He will be on the show at the top of hour number 2, the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Don't miss it. And here's a big reason why. The Los Angeles Clippers have agreed to an extension with Doc Rivers. Now, as I reported weeks ago, Doc Rivers had the right to get out of his contract after this season if he wanted to. Even though he had recently re-upped with them, he had an out after the season. He could have left. But Doc Rivers, as far as I'm concerned, outside of the brilliant coaching job that now has him as one of the top 3 Coach of the Year candidates in the NBA, as far as I'm concerned, no CP3, no Blake Griffin, no DeAndre Jordan, but he's in the playoffs that the players will begin today. And the Clippers are about 10 or 11 games over 500. What a job by Doc Rivers. What a job. Patrick Beverley, Danilo Gallinari, Shea Alexander. These are the people that he has. These are 10, 11 games over 500. What a sensational job by Doc Rivers. But another brilliant move he made. All that noise percolated about the Lakers. Clippers came, re-upped him, made sure there wasn't no possibility he was leaving for the Lakers. He's a Clipper for years to come. And oh, by the way, he's got the better team. Who, by the way, has more cap space than the Lakers to offer a free agent or 2 this summer. So in New York and in LA, we got the sister franchises, essentially, for lack of a better term, the Mets. That's the Brooklyn Nets. They're basically the Mets to the Yankees. Except the Knicks ain't really the Yankees because the Yankees actually win and the Knicks don't, but that's beside the point. I'm talking about Brandon here. Branding. You have a situation where there's 2 stepsisters or stepchildren in the 2 largest markets in the United States of America are threatening to be number 1. Relegating the 2 premier branded franchises to nothing. Because let me tell y'all something right now. This Lakers situation that you're looking at, it ain't going to get any better if you don't improve the roster. Magic Johnson and LeBron James are under immense pressure to get somebody to come to Tinseltown for the purple and gold. The Clippers don't appear to have that problem. I'm here to tell y'all right now, they're incredibly confident Kawhi Leonard's coming to L.A. Kawhi Leonard has been balling. The numbers are there. Don't get me wrong, but if you speak to NBA analysts, they will tell you they see something's missing from Kawhi Leonard. That fire in his belly, per se, that says that he wants. They're seeing more of the guy that wanted to leave San Antonio now in Toronto than a guy that helped Popovich and Tim Duncan and those boys win a championship over Miami a few years earlier. That's what they're seeing. So the belief is that Kawhi Leonard definitely is leaving Toronto and that he's going to end up coming to the Clippers. I don't know. I don't know Kawhi Leonard. But I'm telling you what NBA aficionados are saying. They believe he's leaving. They believe he wants to be in Toronto. They believe this is a one-year wonder. That's it. And Toronto's going all in. Masai Ujiri went all in. I'm going with Kawhi Leonard. We going for the chip. We trying to win the championship. And then even if he leaves, at least we deliver the championship to the city of Toronto and the country that is Canada. That's basically what he's saying. In the end, what it comes down to is that the Clippers, because you can't rule Kevin Durant out. If Kevin Durant's going to leave Golden State, and clearly Draymond Green doesn't care whether he stays or goes, and I'll get into that a little bit later. And Golden State, while hoping Kevin Durant doesn't leave, their priority is to keep Klay Thompson because they don't want him to become a Laker. The bottom line is Kevin Durant could be going someplace else. And if he's going someplace else, why would it be the Knicks instead of Brooklyn? Remember, he's connected to Roc Nation and Jay-Z, even though Rich Kleiman is his guy. But he used to work with Jay-Z, if not still doing so. So the bottom line is if Jay-Z going to look out for anybody and he's got any kind of influence, it would be Brooklyn instead of the Knicks. Now, his man Juan Perez is a Knicks fan true to his core. But Kevin Durant's a grown man that's going to end up making his own decision. The point is, if you Jay-Z and you got any kind of influence, you're going to steer him towards Brooklyn, not the Knicks. Unless he chooses to go to L.A. And you cannot put this past Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant don't care about that purple and gold, all that branding, luster and all of that. That's not him. And I don't think for 1 second he's trying to help LeBron James remain atop the heap. He's trying to knock him off. Kevin Durant is somebody that believes he's the best in the world right now. He don't think we know what the hell we talking about when we say LeBron better than him. He don't believe that. So why would he want to go and help LeBron win in L.A. when he could join the Clippers and dethrone him directly? Even more personal than he already has done. Oh, my Lord. These storylines. It don't get no better than this. It don't get no better than this. That was Straight Talk Wireless, nationwide coverage on America's largest and most dependable 4G LTE networks. We'll take your calls on this and then some. We'll talk about all of this, the Brooklyn Nets, the Knicks, the Los Angeles Clippers, Doc Rivers' new deal, and, of course, the impact that's going to have on the Lakers. And that's just getting started. I ain't even bring up Draymond and Kevin Durant yet. I ain't even bring up Philly against Boston tonight, which is why I'm in Philly right now. And I ain't even get to the NFL. And, oh, by the way, Jerry West. The great, phenomenal executive himself, Jerry West, the consultant extraordinaire at present moment, is coming on to start off hour number 2. Oh, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. You're listening live. Stephen A., ESPN Radio, ESPN News. By the way, when you're hiring, you don't want to waste time sorting through dozens of irrelevant resumes, do you? You want an efficient way to get to a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes, set up screening questions based on your job requirements, then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed. Your calls and more up next. Don't touch that dial. It's Stephen A., ESPN Radio, ESPN News.
Learn what affects your credit scores and what you can do to improve them with Credit Karma. Maybe you need to dispute an error in your credit report, or you're paying too much interest. Credit Karma can help with that. Visit creditkarma.com or download the app now. That's creditkarma.com.